Downtown Fargo, where culture, creativity, and community collide. You've heard the headlines. Now hear what's really happening. Bringing the best of Broadway direct to you. The stories, the people, and the places that make downtown the heartbeat of our city. This is Rocky's Downtown Hour with Rocky Schneider.
Happy Friday, everybody. This is Rocky Schneider with Rocky's Downtown Hour. Beautiful day. Sun is shining. Looking forward to an amazing weekend of weather. I think we have a full show today, and so we have three different guests on, focusing on different parts of downtown, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We have a lot going on downtown, but really a lot going on in the city right now, and wanted to let you know that there's a election coming up in June. It's something that not a lot of people take part in. I think a lot of people care about it. They talk about who's mayor, who's city commission, what the city's up to, but when it comes down to election day, not many people come out and vote. It's like 15, 20% at best that come out in a June election to vote. So pay attention to who's running. And we have one candidate on later today for the Park District, and we'll talk with her. But also we're co-hosting with the Chamber and the Builders Association. The Downtown Community Partnership is hosting a Mayoral Forum at the Fargo Theatre. So the newly renovated Fargo Theatre on April 21st. It's a free event. We do ask that you register, so you can find the registration information on either the Chamber's website or it'll be up on our website today as well. But yeah, April 21st, the evening of that, I think it's like 6:30 to 8:30, and we'll have all of the mayoral candidates there. There are 5 of them, and they'll all be up there, and we'll ask a bunch of questions, and you'll find out about their vision for the future of Fargo, what's going right, what's going wrong, where we see us going in the next few years. And if you haven't paid attention, this is probably the most pivotal election for the city of Fargo in a long, long time. Probably in my lifetime anyways, my adult lifetime. And we have Mayor Mahoney is term limited, so he will be out after 20 years on the commission itself and 10 or so as mayor. So we'll have a new leader at the helm regardless. And then with 2 of the sitting commissioners who are up right now for their terms are running for mayor. We're going to have 2 open city commission spots. So we're guaranteed to have at least 2 new faces on a 5-member board on the commission. So that's a lot of change, and potentially 3 new people if one of the newcomers to the local politics scene wins for mayor. And then, if Michelle Turnberg wins for mayor, then we have to have a special election for another commission seat. So we'll have 3 new faces if that's the case, one way or another. So it's a really interesting, dynamic time, but I think it's all that much more important that you get out and vote, because we're all stuck with whoever we elect for the next 4 years, right? And so we want to all be paying attention and make sure our voices are heard, and make sure that if you're not being heard, that means somebody that you may disagree with is being heard. And so that's enough motivation sometimes to get out there. So April 21st at the Fargo Theatre is a free mayoral event, and looking forward to doing that. I think the League of Women Voters, who always does a great job with their candidate forums too, I believe they are going to have one on May 7th. They may have it over a couple days for all the different offices, but that'll be televised as well. I think ours is televised on WDAY, and we have a partnership with the forum to live stream it as well, I think. And so that'll be great to see. Coming up in May, we're excited. You've heard me talk about our One Bite Challenge, really celebrating our restaurants in downtown Fargo. People always ask what's unique about Fargo or downtown, and it's really is the restaurants are one of the best representations of that. We don't have drive-throughs, we don't have chain restaurants, but we have about 30 restaurants in downtown. 29 of them are signed up for the One Bite Challenge right now. And so they are each going to curate their best bite of food, and then you get to go around and judge the food and pick the winners. So we'll have different categories you can pick from: best presentation, best taste, best overall. Then we'll have a couple celebrity judges that go around as well, and we'll have a Judge's Choice Award. And they'll get prizes to the different chefs at the restaurants as from that vote. But we also have $2,500 in gift cards that a local patron of downtown and the city, Deborah Fredrickson, donated to us so that we could really promote the event, but also just promote downtown shopping and all of our small businesses, restaurants and shops and boutiques and everything else. And so just for coming to the event and buying a ticket, you're going to get entered in a drawing for one of 50 gift cards, up to 50 gift cards for, thanks to Deb. And so we appreciate that. We are over half sold out of the event. So if you're looking, tickets have been going really quickly. We have an early bird rate until the end of April. So it's $45. You get a handmade appetizer plate by Hayden at Live in the Dream Pottery. And then you get to go to 29 different restaurants in the afternoon of the 23rd. And it's only one bite. So it's not, you're not going to get full at any one place, but challenge you to go to all 29 and see if you don't get a pretty good meal out of it. And we hope that we have the menu coming up soon. It's still, 5-6 weeks away until the event, but I know the chefs are working and debating between each other about what they're going to put out to highlight for their restaurant. But we're hoping the competition heats up and we start to get to tease some releases of what the one bites are going to be. I'm sure nobody wants to be the first one to say it and then someone else is going to, steal their idea or one up them, those sort of things. But we'll have more release on that. But yeah, we have 500 tickets for sale and over half of them are gone already. So if you're looking for something fun, it's a holiday weekend, so make sure you plan your schedules there. But May 23rd is the One Bite Challenge, and you get to really sample every place in downtown Fargo. And you'll probably have your favorites. You'll probably maybe discover a new favorite, and there are probably some you don't like. That's the beauty of choice, right? And you get to try them all. And then you get to judge. I think we all like to be judged. I'm a big fan of cooking shows, Gordon Ramsay, those sort of things. And so, yeah, you get to go on and get a QR code, and you kind of pour your heart out. Tell them what's good, tell them what's not, and help somebody win a fun award. So yeah, early bird pricing ends at the end of April. So I'd love it if it sold out with early bird pricing, and then we wouldn't have to keep pushing it. But it's amazing how fast it's been so far. Usually people don't buy tickets for weekend things until you're right up near it. So looking forward to that. Other things happening downtown. We have a couple new businesses opening up. I'm excited for a lot going on in the month of April. We have the Paradox, which has just been killing it at the old Mexican Village location. They're throwing their first time throwing a large comic book show at Bruhala on the 17th. They're going to be on the show next week to talk about it. Record Store Day at Orange Records is on April 18th, and so trying to get them on the show to talk about what Record Store Day means. And then the week after that, we're going to celebrate independent bookstores. Downtowns have always been a beacon of independent bookstores, and we have two. One that's opened right now, it just opened, and another one that's opening up in the next month or so, Emery's Cove and Overbooked. So we have two independent bookstores right in downtown Fargo, and we'll talk with both those owners, what's their passion behind books, and what Independent Bookstore Day means and what they're doing for it. Just a lot going on in April that we get to look forward to. But also we have a new business that opened up called Events for All that we're going to talk with later in the show. But next on the show, we're going to have Ian from Silver Linings Creamery, the best ice cream in the world. And we'll get to hear all about what flavors he's looking at making and how the process works. We'll be back. Welcome back to Rocky's Downtown Hour. We have Ian Pulling in the studio from Silver Linings Creamery. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Rocky. It's good to see you. Thanks for having me on.
So Silver Linings Creamery, ice cream.
Yes.
Tell us all about Silver Linings.
Yeah, so Silver Lining is located in downtown Fargo at the corner of 2nd Avenue and Broadway, right across from the Broadway Square. And we opened in 2018, so we've been downtown for quite a while now. But we started originally in Rapid City, and we've been making ice cream since 2014. So I consider us kind of pros at it by now, but yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, and I'm so curious. So, you wake up one day and say, "I'm going to make ice cream the rest of my life," or how do you fall into the ice cream business?
So it's a long story. It's
not that long of a show.
Right. So Michelle, my mom, she actually went to Ice Cream University in St. Louis. So she went there and learned the whole process. Came back to Rapid City, taught me, and kind of just went from there. Learned as we went, and kind of still learning, still creating ice cream, still, trying to get better every day. We make a lot of fun flavors, stuff that I think you can't really find in stores. So yeah.
And so I think it goes beyond flavor because people can call something a flavor, but it doesn't mean it's going to taste the same. And so, we call a lot of things ice cream these days. Mm-hmm. Everything from soft serve to homemade ice cream, to whatever you buy in the stores. But what makes your ice cream different than what you'd buy at a grocery store?
So compared to a grocery store, one thing I think that separates us is not only our ice cream, but the moment you walk in is our team. All of our team members are fantastic. We have a great team. Everyone's super friendly. So the moment you walk in, you're hit with everything's made fresh made waffle cones, a happy environment, a great team member who I think loves their job, loves what they do, loves what they sell, and the ice cream. But if you want to get a little more technical with it, everything we make in the creamery is small batch. And so what that kind of means is it's going to be made in like a smaller quantity than you would find in a store. And it's going to be made usually that week. Or I know you've been in, and we've given you samples right out of the...
Don't tell everybody how often.
The ice cream. Yeah, exactly. But so it's fresh. It's made usually that week. I mean, sometimes that day. And I think you can taste that difference. It's going to be... So how our ice cream is made, it's actually in a gelato batch freezer and not a ice cream batch freezer. And so less air is whipped into it. And so when you have the final product, it's going to be a little denser and less fluffy than you'd find in soft serve. And they're both good, but it's just kind of what people like. And I think when you come in and you sample it or try it, you can kind of taste that difference.
Yeah, and you can see the difference too, because when you walk in, you're usually there right behind the glass window making ice cream.
Right.
There's no secrets. There's no hidden ingredients behind the scenes that is
just a little love, a little magic. Yeah.
And so what I love about Silver Linings is you guys have always leaned into whatever is going on in the day. Like when we had construction last year, when we put in the security bollards, you guys leaned into the construction and had different flavors for that. This spring, you've made a robin's nest. Is that what it is?
We did, yep. Yeah, so we always try to find the positives in things, too. Like if there's construction out your door, how can you take advantage of that? And I think that's just, in business, you have to be able to be versatile and do that sort of stuff. But robin's nest, that's a new fun flavor. So it's kind of an Easter flavor, but we still have it if you're interested. It's a vanilla ice cream, and we dye it blue, and then we make homemade stracciatella or like these little chocolate ribbons that go through the ice cream, and they kind of look like sticks, and then some robin's eggs candies. And so when you scoop it, it looks like a little nest. Yeah.
So you have all the, everyone's favorite flavors probably too, but then you get to be creative. And so what goes into that? How do you decide if something works or not?
Just customer response, I suppose, to see what works. But yeah, we always have popular flavors, stuff that people will come down and usually will like. You kind of know what you're doing by now. Like I brought some salty peanut butter smash today, which is a peanut butter ice cream with brownies, cake, and salted caramel ribbons, which is going to be popular. People like those kind of flavors.
How'd you know I like that one? That's
I think you've sampled it a few times. But and then you try to push the boundaries too. And when we first opened, we really pushed the boundaries. We did a lot of unique flavors, and I hate saying the word weird, but we like to kind of experiment, but sometimes those don't work. And so you kind of just play around with it. And then the nice thing with ice cream is it's so versatile that you can do so many different flavor combinations, and it keeps you on your feet.
So I have to ask, because you talked about weird and some don't work. What are some that haven't worked?
So we've done a ranch dressing, which you think, being in the Midwest, would be popular, but it was not. We've done sriracha. We've done mac and cheese. I mean, almost anything you can think of, we've probably made it. Yeah, and they're not all good. No,
not all good.
Yeah.
And you also do some collaborations with, like, the Jasper Hotel. You guys at Rosewild, you did a bourbon one, I believe. Wasn't it?
So right now they have an old-fashioned wood chipper that's on their menu, so you can go to the Rosewild and have a great dinner and cap it off with some dessert. But it's a bourbon ice cream with homemade chocolate chippers, like the chocolate-covered wood potato chips. And then it has like a cherry reduction that Jasper actually made, and we use it in there. So it's a nice combination, and it's a good flavor.
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's part of being downtown. All small business owners, you get to kind of actually walk across the street and be like, hey, let's do something fun.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
And really, you're not even, they probably are your neighbors because it's just Broadway Square right in between. And you both utilize Broadway Square as sort of part of your business plan almost.
Yeah. We kind of think, being downtown, we look at our store, we have all windows, so we're right on Broadway. And we kind of think of Broadway as an extension of our business, because we don't really have many walls. That's one of our walls is the street. And so we think when you come into the ice cream shop, you're not only eating ice cream, but you usually will go out and walk around with it. And so, we think of everyone that's close by us, and we're all just kind of bouncing off one another. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the best advertising is when people actually leave the store with the ice cream, because then when you see somebody eating ice cream, you immediately want ice cream.
Right, exactly.
It's one of those things.
Yep. Unless it falls off the cone, and then it's not good.
Then you get 2 sales out of that one.
There we go.
You should hire somebody to push little kids' ice creams over.
That's right. Yeah. If you need it, if you want to do it, yeah.
Good job. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's okay. So what? Tell me another. Maybe you should serve up some ice cream here for us to taste test.
You want to try it? Yeah.
We'll do it live on the air. But one of the questions I like to ask of all of our guests that are downtown, because you all interact with everybody else downtown, is something else that you're not necessarily, your business isn't connected to, but something else going on downtown that you love that makes working and living downtown just a little bit better in your eyes.
So I work downtown and live downtown, and so I'm downtown all the time. And there's so many things that I love and that I love about downtown, the vibrancy of it. That's why we opened downtown, why we opened an ice cream shop here, is because downtown Fargo is so vibrant. It's just a community that it's fantastic. Everyone gets along, and it's just great. But I think there's so many things I love, but I love Blackbird. I go there probably once a week. Folkways, I think, does a great job of bringing community together. They've done so much for downtown and the city of Fargo. And I think that's probably the...
Yeah, and, with Silver Linings location right at Broadway and 2nd Avenue, you're sort of right in the middle of every event that goes on. It's almost like you have the VIP spot for every single event.
Right.
Every concert at Broadway Square, every farmer's market.
Mm-hmm.
You're right there, and lines always out the door, it seems like, when those events happen.
Yeah, we love those events, yeah. And not only just for the ice cream shop, but just for downtown as a whole. I think it just brings life, yeah.
So I'm always curious when you walk in and you have the variety of choosing between like a cup or a cone. Like, how do you decide? Is a certain type of customer that goes for a certain thing? And then you have a lot of varieties in your waffle cones. I love the smell of waffle cones, but I never order the waffle cone.
Right. How come?
I think it's because I'm worried about getting dirty.
Right. Yeah. It's more of a walkable thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, so we are an ice cream creamery. So we make all of our ice cream in store, but we're still, I think, we're still an old-fashioned ice cream shop. And so we still have cones, shakes, sundaes. Right now we have if you stop down, we have a banana bread Biscoff cookie butter sundae, which is warm banana bread with your choice of ice cream, cookie butter sauce, fudge, whipped cream, more cookie butter sauce, more fudge. So we do all sorts of different items, but I think a lot of people come in for our unique flavors, which are always rotating.
So I'm sampling the salty PB smash right now.
Yes.
It's pretty delicious.
You like that one?
It's got a little of everything you want. Little chunks of brownie, caramel,
Yep.
peanut butter, obviously, but then I like a vanilla ice cream base.
Yeah.
Classic.
So, the tough thing about ice cream is you want, it's tough to get the ratios right.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want all brownie, you don't want all ice cream. And so that's one thing that, if it was me, I would have just a cup of brownies with sauce, and maybe a little ice cream on top. But
I should mention that you guys have non-dairy options always too, right? You always have at least something for everybody?
Do, yep. So and those rotate also, so the flavors will change. But we have a vegan ice cream right now, which is made with coconut milk, and that's a huckleberry flavor. And then we have a sorbet, which is fruit-based, and that is a strawberry lemon. So,
well, in the last 30 seconds here, we're talking to Silver Linings on Broadway and 2nd Avenue. You guys are open every day of the week?
Right now we're open every day, 12 to 9.
12 to
and
9.
Those hours will get later as we get into summer.
Yeah.
So,
well, if you're looking for the best ice cream in the world, come on down. Ian is making the ice cream, so if you want your favorite flavor, you should have a vote for a new flavor competition or something like that. That'd be kind of fun.
Well, stay tuned.
Okay.
That might be coming. If you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, that might be in the works. So.
All right. Stay tuned for the next great flavor in downtown Fargo.
Thanks,
Well,
Rocky.
thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Rocky.
And when we come back, we'll have events for all. Welcome back to Rocky's Downtown Hour. Welcome, Scott and Lucas from Events for All in studio with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Rocky. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, so Events for All, relatively new business on MP Avenue in downtown. Tell us, what is Events for All if someone doesn't know?
Yeah, so it is pretty much right says it right in the name. It's events for all. So it's just a wide range of options for people to come do. We both, Scott and I, are family men, and we decided that we kind of wanted a space to be able to get out of the house, take your kids somewhere, more of an affordable option for people to go to. And we host all kind of events. It is a rental venue, so you can rent the rooms, but also we like to, when it's not being rented out for private events, we like to host events for people, and that is completely a wide range. We do toddler dance party, 5 and under dance parties. We do a lot of baby showers, bridal showers. We have a Taylor Swift night coming up where it's all Taylor Swift themed events. We have a family game night. So I kind of handle the more of the family outgoing, but there's also more of the tabletop board game type stuff, and that's kind of the more IT and that stuff is Scott's area.
Yeah, I'm like the techie nerd, so we got a D&D night coming up. There's only so many spots available for that. I also do like old school LAN parties where you used to have to bring your computer there. I have like 30 laptops, and we play games from like the early 2000s. Cool. So that's pretty fun. We do lots of board game nights where they're just open and you come in, pay $5 and I'll play all different board games or card games with everybody. Those are pretty fun. Yeah,
so basically you were just like dads that needed a nerd hangout. Is that kind of, and then you turned it into a business?
Yeah, the wives were, hey, can you go do that somewhere else? Like, oh, hey, Scott, you want to jump in on this and we'll do something together? Yeah, so needless to say, my wife Rachel, who's at home right now with our newborn, she's home from work on maternity leave. She was very happy that I was able to do something with the kids and get them out of her hair. So that was nice. No,
we've all been, and looking at your types of events, I think I've been on the show a few times talking about how often I've gone to birthday parties at Courts Plus, and I live in North Fargo, like for kids' birthdays, and it's amazing to have a place closer where you could host a birthday party.
Yeah, and that's really what we're going for, is a more affordable, because sometimes all you need, especially for that 1-year-old baby, all you want is tables and chairs. Right. Like they're probably not gonna, well, they will not remember it, but you want to get together with your grandma, aunt, uncle, cousins, and your house just isn't big enough. Yep. But at the same time, you don't want to go spend an arm and a leg going to some bigger place. It's like, no, this is small, niche. We just need some tables and chairs. That's all we need.
So if somebody's looking for an event space, how do they find you?
So we actually have our website, eventsforall.biz. Otherwise, you can follow us on all of our social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I respond to a lot of messages. I get a lot of Facebook messages. I know Facebook's a little bit older. We do get some Instagram, but we get a lot of Facebook event messages.
And so what's the size? Because I think that's what probably people are wondering. There's obviously a lot of event venues in town. And you guys focus on a certain size type
so
of
if we're going tables and chairs, we do about 50 if you have tables and chairs. If you're going to just do one table to like put your presents on or whatnot, or your food, we can do 125. Because it does have a main studio room, and then it does have a couple of side lounge rooms on the side.
Yeah, we definitely aim for the small to medium size. Like, people would just try to rent like a hotel conference room, and that could be way too spendy, so we just try to stick to the smaller, 30 people, kind of like just a bigger living room for you, or your bigger kitchen, just for you to hang out, way more personable.
Yeah, and I see a lot of options for this too. If people have, like a board game night with their friends right now, and their wives want them out of the house, or if you're a local maker, a crafter or something, and need a place to just have your club meet, you could have a regular meet up there.
And that's actually been probably our most growing event that we have, is people coming, oh, well, I do this event, or I host this craft night. Could I do it here? Yes, absolutely. We actually work, probably our most successful recurring event right now is our line dancing with Benjamin. He was a local college student, and he loves line dancing and wanted a place to host, and we have a spot. Come on in and we'll work out a deal, and it's been working great, and those have been getting pretty full.
Yeah, and his was the same thing. Like, he's like, I can't afford to go rent a place for $500 if nobody's going to show up. Mm-hmm. So we worked out an arrangement with him so it was affordable and he could actually do it. It's kind of more like you said. It's almost like a man cave, or just a spot to do like some fun hobbies that you just can do, but you're not like your main job, or you can't afford to do it. But yeah, because we have arts and crafts nights. Sometimes we've had like indoor rummage sales, birthday parties, you name it.
And the nice thing is it's climate controlled too. So that the indoor garage sale, they wanted to have one, but it was the winter, so it's cold. Come on in, it's heated. And then if you want to have one in the summer, it's also got the central air, so you never have to worry about the elements.
No, and you hold a lot of family-friendly events, like I forget what it was called, the Princess Dance or the Daddy Dance type thing.
We had a couple, actually from my daughter's daycare, a couple of their teachers there the college students. I asked them, hey, would you guys be willing to dress up if we had a princess party? And they loved the idea, and we had a lot of parents love it. And that was a really fun event because you can't always, not everyone can make it to Disney World, right?
Yep.
So, but there's, it was a lot of fun to see these, 2, 3, 4-year-old girls come in dressed as princesses, and they saw, we had Aurora and Snow White as our princesses, and they knew who they were, and it was just very fun to see the kids be excited.
Yeah, to see the 4-year-old just freak out because it was adorable.
That's fun. Did you guys go as like Grumpy and?
We debated about
Yeah.
dressing up
Yeah.
as like, princess
I
or
was
something.
going to
but-
do Shrek, just do the whole
Shrek? Oh,
green,
that'd be
paint the head
perfect.
green and everything, and yeah,
Yeah, you have layers to you.
I do.
like
an onion.
Like an onion. Like,
Yeah, I got you.
What I always talk about our downtown events too, and I like where you're going with this, is that I always say all of the downtown events you can come to by yourself and meet people. It's a great place to meet other community members, and no matter what your hobby is, you can find it in downtown. You
Yeah.
know, and that's kind of what you're trying to do as well, right? If you have
Yep. With the
an
open-
interest, come out and you'll meet some people with the same interest.
Yeah, absolutely. We just had this Wednesday. We had a girl. She just started a group for 20 to 30-year-olds to come in, and they were looking for a place that was affordable because they just all wanted to meet people. And I showed up halfway through their meeting, and I was like, "Do you guys all know each other?" And this was their first time meeting. There was like 20.
Yeah, they didn't even have a name for their club yet.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
They were just a bunch of 20-year-olds that wanted to get together and hang out and meet friends. I was like,
Yeah.
Well, we have a venue. Come
Yeah,
on
it's
here.
it's hard making friends as an adult. So
So speed dating, you've done speed dating for singles. How's
Yeah.
that worked out?
So that was we tried that last month. It actually worked out pretty well. We did sell out because it was limited seating. So we did sell out. However, some people didn't show up because, of course, that's going to happen with
Yep.
dating. People get nervous and they bail. But that went pretty well, and we're looking to do that
It
again here
always
later
seemed to
this
happen
month.
to me, unfortunately.
Yeah,
You know, no, just kidding.
yeah. I was always worried they would come in, see me, and leave. So.
Well, no, that's fun. It's yeah. I'm always curious on the follow up to it. It'd be fun to see if like somebody comes back and says, "Oh yeah, that's where I met my
Yeah,
husband
I
or
did.
wife,"
yeah, that would be
or-
cool.
I did tell them all. Yeah, so we did the traditional round of speed dating, and then we did like group games, like group get to know you games, and that was a lot of fun. And I told everybody if something ever happens and comes to this, I do expect it to be invited to the wedding. So
Yeah, awesome. You could have their bachelor party or bachelorette party at your place.
absolutely,
course.
yep.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I suppose you do all sorts of showers and everything there too. And
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we have. We've had some guys during. I mean, football's over now, unfortunately. But we did have some guys rented out for Thursday night football and Sunday night football because they wanted to hang out with just their friends. But they, again, don't be on waking up the kids at home because that
Yeah.
Sunday night football gets
or their
pretty
wife
late.
kicked
So
them out. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the late games get kind of late sometimes. And I can see that if you got kids. So Events for All, 723 NP Avenue. Where would you say that's by for the people that kind of trying to geolocate it?
Sure. So it's technically the second half of the People Ready building. Otherwise, it's also next to the axe throwing place in Pixels. So it's right over there. It's right next to the Jiffy Lube on NP Avenue.
Yeah, I think that fits it in there. What do you have for parking around there for people
Oh yeah, we're
hosting
talking about
events?
parking.
So we do have, and
We'll get
I'm
asked,
glad you
right?
mentioned.
Yeah,
No,
all
I'm
the
glad you
time.
mentioned
Downtown
that
parking,
because
yes.
we do have a parking lot that is for us on the east side. There's a big sign that says private parking, so a lot of people don't park there because there's a sign that says private parking.
Yeah.
So they end up parking on the street.
But it's private parking for us.
For us.
For us
So-
building. So we need to clarify that. Like we didn't park there. Like no, it's for our building. But that's hard to know downtown.
So what do you have coming up for events that people should look?
So our biggest one I think that we have coming up is we do have our Taylor Swift night. There is a I don't know if
Are you
people
ready
know
for
this.
it?
Getting there. Getting
As a
there.
Taylor
He did
Swift
get it. He did get it.
reference.
Yeah.
come
He's
on.
not a Swiftie.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm not. But that is why I'm working with the president of the Fargo Moorhead Swifties page on Facebook. I'm working together with her, and she's been sending me tons of ideas. And so obviously they take it pretty serious. So I'm hoping I'm not going to disappoint them. in
Oh yeah,
that
you
event.
got to have friendship bracelets.
That was
and
the
That-
number one
that
thing
was
was
the
the
first
friendship
thing.
Number
bracelets.
one.
Yep.
Yep. So we got to do that. We also have our Dungeons and Dragons night coming up. Another speed dating. Tonight we actually have our last Friday night salsa dancing, which is open to the public. And then after today, it's going to get moved to Wednesdays. But so tonight salsa, if anyone's interested in learning how to salsa.
Okay, so if people want to get a hold of you, how do they find you again?
So you can follow us on, find us on all of the social medias. It's always Events for All with the number 4. Otherwise, you can find us at eventsforall.biz.
And so in the last couple minutes here, what brought you to downtown for this location?
Actually, I was looking for a more affordable place, but also with a lot of foot traffic. And luckily, I worked with Craig Properties, and they had a venue for me, and It wasn't right on Broadway. I did want to go right on Broadway, but this was close, and it actually works out better as far as the parking. It is, people can come in and out without, all the traffic. We all know how Broadway can get sometimes, but that's also a pro and a con, because then there is foot traffic.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a really cool idea, and I have somebody that does a lot of those little parties or goes to, with 2 kids, you go to those little type of parties all the time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like I have a like a 8 and 10-year-old, and how many times I've been to Courts Plus for a birthday party is like just something a little different. Like it got to the point where like I practically knew the people that worked there. Like, oh, it's you again. I'm like, I don't have a membership here. I'm just here for 400 birthday parties this summer, and also it's my 8-year-old's birthday day, so I want to just say happy birthday to William. He turns 9 today.
Oh, my son's name is William too. Happy birthday, William.
Yeah, thanks.
That's fun. Yeah. And what's he doing for a party? Is it a theme?
Not a theme party. He has a venue. He knows somebody that owns it, so we're gonna throw up some. We have some bounce houses.
I was
We
going to say,
didn't
what
really
venue
mention
are you
about.
hosting this at?
Oh yeah, what venue. We do have some bounce houses we rent out and
Yeah.
stuff
What
too.
do you get into? Minecraft, Marvel?
Yeah, it's either Minecraft or Pokemon themed. Be one of those two.
Catch them all.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Events for All, thanks for being on the show, and we hope to be at an event soon.
All right. Well, thank you guys
thanks,
for having
Rocky.
us. Appreciate it.
And when we come back, we're going to have Emily Secor May, who's running for the Park District with us, and we'll talk about what makes her interested in loving Fargo parks. Welcome back to Rocky's Downtown Hour. We were talking earlier about what a pivotal election this is for the whole city and coming in June. But on top of mayor and commission races, we also have Fargo Park District races. And with us, we have Emily Secor May on the show, who's running to be a new park board member. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Rocky.
Yeah, so who is Emily Secor May?
I'm a Fargo native. I'm a mom. I live in Fargo with my husband and 4 kids. I've got a 6th grader, a 3rd grader, and twins in 1st grade.
Wow.
I'm a lawyer. I've been in my career for about 16 years and had a variety of roles, most notably in consumer compliance and risk management. I'm relentlessly curious, so I'm always looking to develop deeper understanding of things, learn new things. And I'm what I call a recreational hummingbird. So I'm not particularly good at any single sport or activity, but I always want to try new things.
I always find people that you're obviously busy. You got, successful career, big family, dog, husband, all those things.
Yes.
Like, it's fun to see people want to even do more than.
Yeah, there's an expression, if you need something done, give it to a busy person. And that is me to a T.
So why Park District? Obviously, as a family, I have a family. We go to parks. I love our parks in the city. But it takes a specific interest to want to be a park board member.
Yeah, I think, it resonates with me at a city leadership level because I've just always been committed to community service. My parents ingrained growing up to me and my sisters the value and importance of giving back to your community. They modeled that for us. As far as Fargo Parks, it is a uniquely positioned organization where they really have the potential to create a sincere sense of community connection and belonging. I think when community members have access to programs and facilities that reflect who they are, they feel a deeper connection to the community, they feel a deeper connection to one another, and they really feel like this is where they belong. That's powerful, and that would be really exciting to be a part of.
So, I think when people don't realize how vast Fargo Parks is, I think you probably all have your local neighborhood park that we go to, or, like a Lindenwood or an Island Park or something, but there's so much more that the Park District does.
Yeah.
Beyond that, and that is involved in, obviously huge sports tournaments. They do, the senior meals, those type of things where it's like they play a role in our city that maybe they don't know. And maybe what's been surprising to you as you've kind of dove into running for office?
I think a lot of what you just said, I think the vastness and the diverse ways that we can expand and be strategic with our programming and services to make sure that we are reaching all facets of our community. Fargo is evolving, it's diverse, and it's large. And we need to make sure that, if we focus our budget and our attention to certain programming, that we always take an opportunity to step back and reevaluate and make sure that we're adjusting our priorities and not leaving certain community members less involved or less engaged. It also has been really great to better understand the connection between Fargo Parks and economic development. Fargo is greatly benefiting from large companies, innovative entrepreneurs who are choosing to call Fargo home. And that's easier when Fargo is a place where people want to live and where people feel like they belong. The creation of parks and spaces and programming that Fargo Parks District provides is critical in creating that type of community.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. It's you choose where you want to live, and then parks plays a huge role in that. And whatever parks means to you, but it's also how we introduce our community to a lot of people. They come here for a sports tournament, or they're here on vacation and they go for a run or exercises of their choice. And that's what they take back. They talk about the parks. They don't talk about whatever chain restaurant or the interstate or anything else, right? The parks plays a big role. And I think North Dakota is one of just a handful of states where the park is separate from a city.
Yes.
And that's so unique. There's pros and cons in my experience working with them on that, but it makes you a lot more powerful too. You're independent.
Absolutely. I think the fact that our Fargo Park District and its board has the autonomy of managing its own budget separate from the city does give us the opportunity to create the phenomenal park system that makes us a standout city today.
So we're talking with Emily C. Cormay, a candidate for this June's for the Fargo Park Board. How do people find more information about you?
So my website is emilyccormay.com. I'm also on Facebook under Emily C. Cormay for Fargo Parks, and posting a lot about how I am engaging with the community, talking with people like you, learning about how we can be better connected and how we can make better connections across our community, and really learning more about how I can be an effective and meaningful leader for the city.
And so a couple of logistics. There's 5 park board members, and there's 3 spots, right, that are up this June. And there's 2 incumbents running again. And then Aaron Hill is running for city commission. So there's 1 open seat. There'll be at least 1 new park board member.
Yes.
And so you're not necessarily running against anybody. You're running for 1 of 3 seats.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's how you see it. But
yeah, that's exactly how I see it. And what that means from the voters' end is on the ballot, you will be able to vote for up to 3 people because there's 3 spots open. Of course, ideally, if you find me to be the best candidate, you would vote only for me because then the numbers are in my favor.
Yeah. It's all a game. Yeah, it's a math game. But June elections are so interesting. People just don't show up for June elections.
Yeah, we need to get better voter turnout, and that's going to be part of my communication through my Facebook and my webpage of making sure that people know where to vote, when to vote. There's early voting, June 2nd through 6th. You can do early voting, I think, at the Fargo Dome, the Ramada, and the Fargo Sports Center. There's absentee ballots. So there really is no reason why we can't get more voter turnout to engage and be connected in that way.
So one thing I've learned on this radio show is never ask somebody their favorite, because then they freeze and they don't want to offend anybody. But what are some parks that you go to for different reasons?
So Lindenwood is right near my house, and because I've got the 4 kiddos and the dog, they dictate a lot of where we are and when. So you'll find us a lot at Lindenwood, biking on the playground, just exploring nature and crawling around on the rocks and trails and everything. My husband is really into biking, and he likes the single track trails through the woods. A favorite of his is Lions Park, and he does that year round. I did try fat tire biking in the snow with him a couple times. It was beautiful. It's peaceful. There's nothing like being in the woods on a quiet, snowy day. I'm not sure I'll do it again. It was harder than it looks.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, that's another favorite of ours.
Well, the DCP where I work, and the executive director, we were one of the original sponsors of the new Great All-American Trail North that Greg Tveen and Pat Crary put in.
Yes.
Former guests on the show.
We absolutely enjoy that one. And that one's so fun for kids. So my husband and my son are both super into that. Greg is a good friend of ours. That is such a fun trail. And it's great, too, because if you've got varying degrees of ability bikers, you can have a portion of people right there on the paved trail and those who want to be on the single track trail right next to you. So that's super fun, too. Okay,
Emily C. Cormay, in the last 30 seconds here, why should somebody cast their vote for you?
I think what city leadership needs is a reintroduction of practical and pragmatic leadership, but also accounting for community-wide considerations and some compassion for the parts of our community members who maybe don't have as loud of a voice. One of the things that makes Fargo a really amazing community, I know how amazing it is. I grew up here. I came back here to raise my own family. Is the opportunities that it provides to feel the connection and find your voice. And I think city leaders need and can do a lot more to help all communities find those voices and make sure that we are managing our budget in a way that does that and managing our strategic prioritization for growth in a way that does that.
Well, perfect. Emily C. Cormay, you can check her out. She's on this June's ballot for the Fargo Park District. if you want to find out more information. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a great weekend and gets a reason to go outside and enjoy one of our amazing parks.